Hey guys, I am Anirudh. Welcome back to my channel. So I was actually solving a physics paper and I came across a good question, and that is actually a good collaboration of two concepts, that is projectile motion concept with the concept of rotational motion where this torque is involved. Okay, now let's go through this. So this required a bit of good explanation from my side, so I thought of actually making a separate video for this besides having this question inside a question paper discussion video. Okay, so they are asking you to find the average torque. Okay, they are asking you to find the average torque on a projectile of mass m whose initial speed is u and angle of projection is theta between initial and final positions p and q as shown in the figure. This is initial position p, final is q. Now between these two things, whatever was the torque acting on that, average torque has to be found out. Okay, about the point of projection. And the torque, see, any quantity in the rotational motion is actually what to say, it is these quantities in rotational motions are actually defined about a point of projection, about a particular point, and we are supposed to find the torque about the point of projection, that is p here. So if this is p, this is q. Okay, yeah, so everything has to be found out with respect to that. So our discussion, let's start it with the topic of instantaneous torque. What is instantaneous torque in that? What do I mean by instantaneous torque? See, this body is projected with a velocity of u at an angle of theta with the horizontal in this kind of a situation. So it is going to cover this entire trajectory like this, isn't it? Okay. At any point, on its trajectory, let's say that at here, this body, let us suppose it is reaching here in time t is equal to t seconds. After time t is equal to t seconds, let's suppose t is equal to 0 seconds here, and after time t is equal to t seconds, after time is equal to t seconds, after t seconds have been elapsed, it reaches over here. Okay, after t seconds it is reaching over here. Here what is the only, at any point in the trajectory, arbitrarily any point on this trajectory, let's say this point, the only force acting is your mg force. So torque, if it is having a torque itself, that torque is only because of mg, because mg is the only force acting on the body, because we call this as free fall, motion under the influence of gravity only. So mg is the only force acting on that, and obviously we have to say that yes, at this point what is the instantaneous torque, at this particular instant what is the torque acting on this particular body. Obviously that can be found out by r cross f, and I am going to find the torque, I am going to find this instantaneous torque about the point p. So I have to take this particular perpendicular distance between p and this particular force, and this, let's say that it is x. Okay, and we know that your horizontal component of velocity is obviously u cos theta. Okay, and this horizontal component of velocity, or the horizontal motion, is uniform motion. So I can say x is equal to u cos theta multiplied by t. There is no acceleration along the horizontal direction. Acceleration is there in the vertical motion. Okay, acceleration is there in whenever we consider the vertical component of motion or vertical component of velocity. But it is horizontal component of velocity. So obviously if this x distance is covered, then obviously x is equal to u cos theta multiplied by t. So what is torque then? Torque is equal to r cross f. So yes, torque is equal to r cross f. So that can be given as, obviously torque tau is equal to, r is actually distance, this is u cos theta multiplied by t multiplied by the force is equal to mg. Okay, so I can say torque is equal to mg u cos theta multiplied by t, where t is the time taken by the body to reach any point. So we can, with this particular formula, we can find any, I mean the torque acting on the body when it is reaching any point in this particular diagram. We just need the time taken by the body to reach that particular point, that's all. Okay, so if this is understood, we can solve a question like this. Find the torque instantaneous, instantaneous torque at that particular instant acting on the body at the end of its trajectory. That means when it reaches over here. Okay, I have this equation, isn't it? Torque is equal to mg multiplied by u cos theta multiplied by time. So that is mg u cos theta multiplied by, what is the time here? The time taken by the body to reach this particular point is the time of flight, t. So that will be 2u sine theta divided by g, the standard equation. Okay, Yes, this can be cancelled off, and that is 2 sine theta cos theta, that is sine 2 theta, isn't it? So this will be m u square sine 2 theta. This is the torque. Okay, so the torque at the end of its motion, at the end of the trajectory here, what is the torque acting across about this point of projection? So the torque acting at the end of the motion, at the end of the trajectory, at the end of the parabola along this point P, okay, about the point of projection is this much, mu square sine 2 theta. Can I find this by some other method? Here, actually, when it reaches over here, it has this particular u cos theta velocity here. Horizontal motion is uniform motion. At every point, the horizontal motion is the same. This angle will be theta itself. And the point to remember is that the vertical component of velocity is u sine theta. If you throw a ball upwards with the same velocity, with some velocity, with the same velocity, it will come and fall on your hand. Because going there, the acceleration is deceleration, and coming back, the acceleration will be an acceleration. The same acceleration is acting on the body in the upward direction and the downward direction. So that is the importance of free fall here. So as it comes back, the value of vertical velocity is u sine theta. That's it. Okay. The vertical velocity is u sine theta only. Now mg is acting in this direction, isn't it? Mg is acting along the downward direction. Now mg is the force which is providing the torque about this point P. So the perpendicular distance between the point P, that is point of projection, till the end is their range. Okay, this is the range. So obviously torque can be written as range multiplied by mg. So that is u square sine 2 theta by g multiplied by mg. So again you are going to get the same equation, mu square sine 2 theta. Okay, so the torque, instantaneous torque acting on the body at the end of its trajectory about the point P, about the point of projection P, is mu square sine 2 theta. Okay, so we found out something called by the name of instantaneous torque. Now let us actually understand what they are asking inside the question. Now they are asking you to find the average torque, not the instantaneous torque. Instantaneous torque will vary depending on which point you are selecting. Instantaneous torque at this point is not the instantaneous torque at this point. Instantaneous torque at this point is not the instantaneous torque over this point. Instantaneous torque over this point is not the instantaneous torque about at this particular end of the trajectory. At every point, this instantaneous torque is actually varying. But they are asking you to find the average torque. So I cannot go by this method. By this method, I am going to get only instantaneous torque. So I have to think about some other method which is actually going to help me in understanding or finding out the average torque of the projectile. So yes, this is a standard question. So let's actually try to understand how to solve that. So if this is the x and y axis, and I see that my projectile is actually falling like this, is actually moving in this particular way. This is point P. Okay. And here, if I try to make this particular free body diagram, I don't want to talk about mg here as such. Okay, so this is obviously u cos theta, and this vertical will be u sine theta, and this is the net velocity, and this angle is theta. Now, we know that torque dot delta t, okay, torque multiplied by delta t is equal to change in angular momentum, L2 minus of L1. We know that actually F delta t is change in linear momentum, okay? Delta P, change in linear momentum. I am taking the rotational equivalent of this. Torque delta T multiplied by delta T is equal to L2 minus L1, where L is the angular momentum, L2 minus of L1. So yes, torque multiplied by delta T is equal to L2 minus of L1. Now, point to remember is, this is actually defined over point P. So everything, the angular momentum, the torque are actually along the point P, about the point P, okay? So what was the initial angular momentum? The initial angular momentum is actually, if this is u velocity, then obviously this is u cos theta, and this is u sine theta. And this angular momentum is given by the equation mvr. Okay, so there is an angular momentum in the y direction, angular momentum in the x direction, but both the velocities are actually passing through, or both the linear momentum is passing through the point P. So that means the initial angular momentum is 0. Why? Because u sin theta passes through P, u cos theta also passes through P. So therefore this particular angular momentum in both directions are actually equal to 0, because it is actually passing through P itself. Obviously. Now at this particular final point, just see this. U cos theta is in the line of P. It is in the line of P, so there is no angular momentum caused by u cos theta. But u sin theta is perpendicular to this. Okay, this is perpendicular to this, and obviously the distance is your range. Okay then. So this particular momentum, linear momentum by u sin theta is mu sin theta, and that is at a perpendicular to this particular range. That means it is not along this particular point P. So that is why I can say that it is only u sin theta which is responsible for causing an angular momentum about point P, and when the projectile is ending its motion. So yes, let's find out the equation for that. Tau multiplied by delta t. What is the time taken to reach here? 2u sin theta by g. Now this is equal to L2. What is the angular momentum over here? So that will be mvr. M multiplied by v is u sin theta multiplied by range is u square sine 2 theta divided by g. So this is mvr, and yes, torque is equal to mu sin theta multiplied by u square sine 2 theta by g multiplied by g divided by 2u sin theta. Now u sin theta and u sin theta gets cancelled off very easily, and this is also cancelled. So the torque, average torque between the initial and final position about the point of projection is equal to mu square sine 2 theta divided by 2. Okay, you can even remember this if you have a great brain in which everything can be stored. Yes, so that's the torque average. Let's compare this with the previous equation. What did we find out? First of all, we discussed torque, instantaneous torque, torque acting at a particular instant across any point. Okay, when instantaneous torque in any point of the projectile motion, be it here, be it here, be it here. The basic equation for torque is mgu cos theta multiplied by t. Mgu cos theta multiplied by t. If you plug in the value of time, you can get the torque acting on the body, which is the projectile, okay, about the point of projection at any instant. So this is the instantaneous torque. Second, we actually discussed something called by the name of instantaneous torque at the end of its trajectory. When it reaches the end of the trajectory, the equation obviously becomes mu square sine 2 theta. Yes, this is mu square sine 2 theta. And the next one was the average torque acting between the initial and final position about the point of projection. So that is mu square sine 2 theta divided by 2. So at the end of the projection, the torque acting about the point P is obviously mu square sine 2 theta. If you divide that value by 2, you get the average torque throughout its projectile motion. Okay, so that means I can very easily understand that the correct answer for this question is obviously option 1. So the answer for this question is option 1. This is the average torque, okay, between the points P and Q, which is acting about the point of projection, right? So yes, this is all that I was trying to explain in this particular video. I thought of discussing this question with you because this is very important, and yes, this kind of questions can be expected for the exam. This is a very good question, standard question as it is, and do practice these kind of good level questions to clear the NEET exam. Okay, so if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Click the bell icon to receive notification whenever I upload a new video on YouTube. Thank you.